Well, hello YouTube. Welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and today we're having our Trump coffee. And today's going to be a safety slash how-to video. What I did, if everybody remembers, let's start from the beginning. A few months ago, I fell down my steps, and this house is full of nothing but hardwood floor, and I despise hardwood floor. I mean, to the point where I would just soon find another place to live. That's how bad I hate hardwood floors. I am a carpet man. But anyway, I tried to get the owners to get some non-stick stick-on pads for the steps, and it ain't happened. Well, the more I use these floors, the slicker they get. It's gotten to the point where I have to wear these here rubber hospital socks to keep from falling down the steps, and even then it's still pretty slick. So what I did was I bought a 60-foot roll of sandpaper tape, and yes, it can be used for sandpaper too, but that's what it is. But the difference between sandpaper and this is, this here, when you stick it, it don't come back up. You don't get it back up without tearing it up. And I got a 60-foot roll, and I've got to do 30 steps and landings. So it totals to 30 steps between the spiral steps and the straight steps going down to the front of the house. Comes to 30 steps. And I didn't want to spend a whole lot on it, but I also want to make my steps safe. And to be honest with you, I'm scared of my steps. So I wanted to cover the maximum amount of step area that I possibly can with a 4-inch wide piece of tape. Now, I've cut all these at 24 inches long, and the way I came up with how long I was going to make it is I counted all the places where I wanted to put a tread, and it came to 30. And then I went to the calculator and calculated how many inches it would be in 60 feet, which came to 720 inches. And then I divided that by 30. And that gave me how long I wanted to make these. So that leaves me with somewhere around about, well, actually right at 4 1/4 on each side of the step, which you're not going to be stepping anyway. So in order to make this work, to maximize the tread width on the step, I decided to take my yardstick here and put it to the edge of the tape, draw me a line, then move down to the line I just drawed, and then draw another one. Well, since there's not enough room to get another one, we're going to leave one wide one and two 1-inch ones. So basically it came up to, we get two 1 1/8 inch ones I thought that yardstick was an inch. If it would have been an inch, probably could have got 4 of those. But I'm just now finding that out. All right, and the other one, the last one, is 1 3/4 inches. So now, instead of covering this area, we get to cover, instead of 4 inches, now we can cover around about 6 1/4. So that'll work. So I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting all these, and I got to do it with the scissors. I tried to use my razor knife, but it's kind of hard to hold the yardstick in place without it moving on you while you're in the middle of your cut. And I tried it, and I didn't want to leave anything to chance because I don't have an extra piece to replace one if I mess it up. So rather than use the yardstick, I just grabbed the old trusty shop scissors, and we're going to cut all these down to this. And I've got 4 steps already done, and this is what it looks like. So I'll go ahead and cut all these up, and it's going to take me a while because see, I've done 5 out of 30, so I got 25 more to do. 2 cuts on each one. So it's time consuming. It'll probably take me a better part of an hour. So I'm going to turn my music on here and enjoy some music on my playlist on YouTube, and sit here and whittle away at this until we get it done. Now we will meet you at the steps, and I'll show you my process for putting them down to make them as straight as possible and uniform, so that they look nice. And the 4-inch wide will now cover 6 1/4 inches wide. But we'll measure that to make sure that we are actually correct on the 6 1/4. But it's close enough that shouldn't have any questions. So we'll be back. Alright guys, Finally. So we got this one. And we've got this pile. So now I'm going to take and get set up, and we'll show you how I'm going to put it down. Alright guys, so what we've done is you just I went and cut all these up, and we're going to place them right there just like that. And we want to make sure that they're nice and straight. So what I've done is made a template. Now this is 32 1/4 span, so I cut this to 32 inches. And then we have to remember to always start and butt it up against the right side. That's why it's right and left. So to start off with, we're going to take and put that to the edge, and we're going to put our first one on, just like so. The hardest part is actually getting the sticker off the back of it, and that can be time consuming. Alright, so then you just pull it off, just like so. Make sure that your stick stays right, or your template, and you want to lay down the one edge first. Don't lay it all down. Get it to where it's butted up to the line. Then you can hold this while you put the next piece or line it up with the stick. So then just tap it along there. Then you can just go ahead and do that. So then we'll just put this here, there. Get this other one off. I hate taking these things apart. Of course, it don't help when you can't see either. Alright, same difference. And what I'm doing is I'm taking my hand and holding down on the stick till I get it lined up with the first corner. And then I'll just follow it down. And there we got the second one. And we got another one here to pull. These things are a pain. Alright, pinky up against the board, hold it down, line it back up. Start your right corner and then just align it. Now, if you notice, if I take and twist that, it'll go in either direction. So basically you're just twisting this to align it as you go down. And then if you got a gap in the center here, right here, you just twist it accordingly, and then it'll straighten back up. And there we have our step. Now it's a safe step. So I'll go ahead and finish all the rest of these, and we got to do all these on up here, and the landing, we got to do the landing here, and then we got to do the spiral steps that go down to the kitchen. Now those are going to be a little tricky, so we're going to have to get creative on that section. Now the straight steps will be okay. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them that's going to have to be specially done and angles cut. And then the other ones down there at the bottom will be just fine. So stay tuned. Alright guys, ain't got much light out here in the hallway, but we've got her done. I was going to do this right here, the landing, but it was going to look too cluttered, so I'll just get me a rug to put there, one of them non-slip rugs. I got one, but it's too long and it's going over my track, so I don't want to hide my tracks. I don't want to do something, a pretty job, and then hide it. So we'll have a rug right here, and then we've got all the steps done. So now I don't have to worry so much about holding on so tight coming down my steps. Alright, got my fish tank. And there's all the scraps. So let's move all these scraps so you can see the steps. And there we got it. We got the steps, spiral steps done too. Now these I put 4 in it, and it wasn't really necessary, but you never know, you might want to step right here, so you want at least something there to grab your foot. And looks pretty decent, and hope it works decent too. So don't look bad. It serves its purpose. So I hope y'all learned something out of that, how to put tread on and how to adjust them the way you want them. Anyway, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. You guys have a good one. Later.